I had lived in my house for 5 quiet years, the kind of neighborhood where people waved in the morning but never got too close. My neighbor, Mr. Dalton, was a quiet man in his 50s. He barely spoke, but always watched too closely. Every time I left for work, his blinds would shift. Every night when I came home, he'd be standing outside watering his plants, even when the hose wasn't on. Still, I ignored it. But everything changed the night I heard the first noise. It was a slow scraping sound coming from beneath the basement floor, almost like someone dragging metal across the concrete. I assumed it was a pipe or maybe a raccoon stuck somewhere, so I brushed it off. But by the third night, the noises got louder, rhythmic, deliberate, almost like digging. I finally went to the basement with a flashlight. The air felt colder than usual, and the light flickered as if reacting to something I couldn't see. When I touched the basement wall, I felt a vibration, something alive, something moving behind it. That's when the fear hit. The next morning, I asked a few neighbors if they'd heard anything strange. They all said no, except one old woman at the end of the street. That whole day at work, I couldn't think straight. All I kept hearing in my head was the scraping, the scratching, the vibration. That night, I set an audio recorder in the basement. When I woke up and checked it the next morning, my blood ran cold. The recording was clear, metal hitting concrete, slow breaths, and then a voice whispering something I still can't forget. Almost there. That was enough. I went down to the basement, determined to find the source. This time, I noticed something new, a small patch of the wall that looked freshly dusted. The cement color was slightly different, rougher, like someone had been tampering with it. I pushed on it, and it gave way just a little. Behind that patch, I saw a dark, hollow space. I ran outside toward Dalton's yard, and that's when everything clicked. Behind his shed were piles of dirt, not normal gardening dirt, but heavy clay soil from underground. I knocked on his door, pretending I needed help with my sprinkler system. His eyes darted around nervously, his hands were covered in dirt, and he kept blocking the view inside his house. That's when I saw it, shovel heads leaning behind his chair. At this point, I called a contractor friend to inspect the basement wall, pretending I just wanted to remodel. After tapping around for a while, he turned to me with concern. "Someone's been cutting through your foundation." From the other side, I froze. "You mean, from the neighbor's side?" He nodded slowly. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every sound felt amplified. Every shadow on the wall felt like it was moving. At 3 a.m., I heard the loudest noise, yet one hard strike that echoed through the basement like thunder. I grabbed a baseball bat and ran downstairs, heart pounding. The wall was cracked. A small opening big enough to see through had formed. I got on my knees and peeked inside, and there he was. Mr. Dalton was staring back at me through the darkness, his eyes wide, wild, and shining like an animal trapped underground. He didn't blink, he didn't move. He just whispered, "You weren't supposed to see this yet." I screamed and ran upstairs, barricaded the door, and called the police. When authorities arrived and broke open the wall, they found the full tunnel stretching from Dalton's basement directly into mine. He had dug it for months, maybe years. Inside the tunnel were flashlights, tools, food wrappers, and worst of all, pictures of my house taken through my windows. He had mapped out every room, every exit, every blind spot. The police arrested him on the spot. Later, they told me he planned to enter my home while I was sleeping. No one knows what he intended to do next. And honestly, I never want to know. I sold the house within weeks. I still can't sleep without checking the floor, and sometimes, in the silence of the night, I swear I still hear scraping.